huge tip that I see a lot of players making the mistake of making a mistake about. When a ship is sailing in a straight line, it's got momentum in that forward direction, right? Now, when ships in this game turn, they turn using the rudder, which means they're turning. When they start the turn, all that forward momentum is still there, right? So what happens is the ship continues to travel in a relatively straight line, but it starts turning, and then this momentum is slowly canceled out by water drag, and more momentum is added by the propulsion in the direction it's turning. But it's not immediate. It's not like you turn in a ring. You sort of do this large drifting sort of turn, right? So one of the things I see happen all the time when I'm shooting at a destroyer, I'll give them the lead. Let's say they're sailing straight away from me. I'll give them the lead like they're sailing straight away from me. They'll start to turn, but because of the nature of how ships turn, in the real life and in this game, they're still traveling towards my point of aim, and I'm still able to hit them, right? I think one of the most underappreciated things is making small adjustments, right? Because as soon as you stop turning, and this isn't necessarily true in the real world, but it is in the game, once you are set on your new line of bearing, all your momentum is going in a different direction, right? So let's say you've got your aim point, here, like the fist of my hand is your aim point. Here's your ship, right? You start turning and you hold that rudder shift turn down, you're going to slide into that aim point. Now, if you turn just enough, get out of that aim point, and then continue sailing in a straight line, you've now dodged it, right? So in your destroyers, making those 10, 15 degree turns and then continuing on a straight course for a bit is so much more effective at dodging shellfire than throwing these big, wide maneuvering turns in there. It doesn't get you out of the line of fire, and B, those big turns slow you down, and it takes you longer to disengage. If you're making these tinier turns, right, not only are you having an easier time avoiding people's points of aim and dispersion circles, but you're also maintaining a lot more speed, and it allows you to disengage faster. And that applies for cruisers as well. Say I'm in a Nuremberg, right? And you've got a speed of 33.6 and a rudder shift of 7.6, right? And you've got plenty of range. You've got enough range that the same situation applies for the Nuremberg, right? You see the enemy shells coming, and based on where they're heading, you can get an idea of where they're going to land, right? So, battleship fires, and the shells, you can sort of see they're traveling with you. That means he's giving you good lead, and if you continue on that course and speed, he's going to hit you, right? But assuming you're sailing away and you're seeing these shells and they sort of come like this, and you'll see they sort of almost move sideways on your screen, and then they'll hit you, right? But if you see the shells coming like this, turn out a little bit, turn out 15 degrees, right? Just a little whoop. And then, so now you'll see those shells will continue to travel to where you were. And there's their aiming circle. Here's let's say where your course is, right? You're sailing like this. This is where they're aiming. You've turned 15 degrees, right? Now you've just avoided the majority of their shells. So that is pro MLG advice from NTG Golfman.